Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Go to be a Java Programmer. In today, day 37 of our coding journey, today's session we'll be discussing constructors in Java. Constructors are special methods used to initialize objects. Let's dive in and understand how they work. Okay, so today we're gonna have a look at what constructor is. So here we are assigning values for them, and then by calling the methods we are setting the assigning those values, and then using get we are getting the values, right? Let's see the output of it. Yes, marriage is 15. Now what happens, let me first create the object, and let me comment these lines. Now what happens if I just get the name and the value without assigning values, that is without setting? What happens if I just directly get? Let's have a look at it. The name becomes, since the name is a string, it becomes as a default null, and since age is an integer, it becomes 0. Okay, so this would be the output if I just directly get them without assigning any particular values. But I don't want to happen this. I don't want something called as null and 0. Instead, I just want something, a default name before assigning values, like a default name such as let's say a common name like Aishwarya is the default name and age will be 18. So let's this be the default name instead of getting null and 0. So what can we do for that? And for those things, we get something called as constructors. Now these constructors are something equivalent to methods, but constructors will be the same name as that of the class name. Okay, so those are called as constructors, and in methods we get the method name. So of course in constructors we will be writing the class name and with the parenthesis, whereas in methods we will be having a return type. In constructors we doesn't require any return type, and of course the access specifier is required. Now let's create an constructor. Human is a class. Okay, so we have created a constructor. Now let me show you something, that how this constructor is called. Okay, so now how does this works is, let me also comment this line. An object is created in the main method and the constructor is called here. So each and every time when there is an object creation, constructor will be called automatically. Yes, inside constructor. So now what I can do here is, instead of getting null and age as 0, I can just fix those values here inside this constructor. Now what happens here is, when the object is being created, and of course when constructor is called, the constructor defaultly assigns values for age and name, and so when it is getting called, it doesn't gives us null and 0, but instead it gives us the default value. And then of course after assigning those values and after setting them, if we call, it gives us the 15 and mirrors. Now let's see. Yes, I show 80. So these are the null values. Now let me show you what happens. Okay, now what must be the output is, when the constructor is called here, it will give us the default value as Aishu and age as 18, and here since we are assigning these values, it will be setting them and it will give us the mirrors as 15. Let's see. Yes. Now instead of printing them, you can also just comment that. Now, of course, instead of assigning it here inside this constructor, you can straight away assign it here. But in order to follow certain standards as a Java programmer, you are supposed to do it. And that's it. Thank you. These are basically known as constructors. Constructors are a fundamental part of Java programming, allowing you to create objects with initial values and ensuring your objects are always in a valid state. By understanding and utilizing constructors, you can write more robust and maintainable codes. Thank you for joining me on day 37 of Let's Go to be a Java programmer. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified about our daily coding sessions. See you tomorrow for day 38. Happy coding!